I used to be quite religious, and I'm fascinated by lots of religious groups. There's some brilliant ones. There's the people that wear the armbands, WWJD. Stands for What Would Jesus Do? And Christians wear them to remind them to be more like Christ in everyday life. They sort of see that and oh, what would Jesus do in this situation? Yeah. For the most part, they're very effective. They make people so annoying, you want to nail them to a cross. My absolute favourite Christian organisation of all time, it's called Christians Against Teenage Pregnancies. That's the Everest of hypocrisy, isn't it? If Jesus taught us nothing else, he taught us that the unwanted babies of teenage mums can turn out all right. You look as if you didn't quite understand that. Do you know who the protagonist is? It's Jesus. Born at Christmas or Easter. You must have heard of him. He could walk on water. Well, he probably couldn't walk on water. His mum probably just exaggerated. He was probably very good on ice skates. He died for your sins. Come. I said to my girlfriend, I said, on Saturday, how would you like to go shopping with the girls, get yourself some new shoes, get your hair done in a different style, and then go out for a couple of bottles of Chardonnay? She said, that sounds brilliant. I said, good, because we're breaking up. You know when a man says to you, it's not you, it's me? Ladies, you know when a man says that? It's not you, it's me. We mean that from the heart. That's not bullshit. That's true. It's just a fragment of a longer phrase. It's not you, it's me that's ending this relationship. Because I can't stand the fucking sight of you. Has anyone here been to Alton Towers? Yeah. What do you think? Do you enjoy it? I enjoyed it. Loved it. Yeah, it's great. Shit. Go on, who was that? Was you? Did you have a shit time?
It was awful.
My God. Tell me more.
The best thing about it, we robbed the fruit machine.
Sorry, the best thing about Alton Towers was we robbed a fruit machine. That is an amazing sentence. Well, you went to Alton Towers and your complaint was not enough to nick. I love the way you're using now an expression of, yeah, you see a fruit machine, you rob a fruit machine. Come on, we're friends, we all come on. You know, I'm a guy, you're a guy, we steal things from fruit machines. No! What's your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel. Well, nice to meet you, Daniel. What do you do?
I work at a jeweller's in Volume.1.
Unless you're the cleaner, they've made a massive error of judgment. So how long have you been casing this joint? About a year. And when's the big job? This is great. Do I get paid extra if this ends up on Crime Watch? Well, I liked Alton Towers. I thought it was good. I thought, you know, Alton Towers is good. Who thought it was good? Yeah, it's all right. It's like a poor man's Disney. Sort of place you might send a child who's dying of something that isn't that serious. What's he got? Asthma? We'll have a whip round. I'm making no promises. Brittle bones? Brittle bones. Has he been to Chessington? He'll have to bring his own cap, yep. The reason I mention Alton Towers is they've got a ride that they've been advertising on TV again. It's a vertical drop roller coaster. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's a lift. Right, good. Any questions so far?
How old?
What?
How old?
How old? Yeah, fuck grammar, we're in a hurry. How lazy is that? How old? Not how old are you, or would you mind telling us how old you are? How old?
28.
Well, have a guess. How old do you think I am? 12. You think I'm 12? Well, you shouldn't even be having those kind of thoughts about me, then. I read an article recently about British men's ultimate sexual fantasy, and it surprised me. The results of it surprised me. It was a proper survey. They asked 3,000 men their opinion. I'd like to do a little straw poll in here this evening, because the results of this, I was shocked. Ultimate sexual fantasies. Has anyone got one they wouldn't mind admitting to?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba. It's a specific person that you would like to bone. Well, I happen to know Jessica Alba does an awful lot of work for charity. Maybe... any other ultimate sexual fantasies?
Girlfriend.
My girlfriend? Well, maybe we could double team her. My girlfriend is your ultimate sexual fantasy. Yes, people see my girlfriend and they see me and they say, she's only going out with you because you're famous. And I say, but I am famous. What's your point? Is that your girlfriend?
That is my girlfriend.
That's your girlfriend? I'm not going to swap if that's okay. Can I just clarify, you are a beautiful lady, no disrespect to you, but he heckled, I had to put him down, and the only way to get to him was through you. I like the way as well, I suggested your girlfriend wasn't good looking enough, and you applauded. Yeah, you'll be using those hands later on, won't you? Any other ultimate sexual fantasies? A Viking helmet? What have you got, 2 vaginas? Good, lovely. Any other ultimate sexual fantasies? Schoolgirl? And then you've pointed at your man. Yeah, I think we've got a special term for a schoolgirl fantasy now. We call it pedo. Sorry, sir, what do you like?
Schoolgirl teacher.
Schoolgirl teacher? Schoolgirl, though, really. Yeah, no, because the specialist term for the schoolgirl you are a pedo. It's good. Look at the positive. You get to be on a list. That's nice. That's nice. Everyone in the neighbourhood knows where you live. That's convenient, isn't it? Do you make her dress up as a schoolgirl?
She's done it.
She's done it? Have her washed and brought to my room. I'm joking. Don't wash her.
Bestiality!
Bestiality. Well, easy. Let's just think this through, because bestiality, a lot of people just write off as a terrible thing. Let's look at both sides. Let's say you fuck a cow, and that could happen. You sound like a nutter. No, let's imagine you fuck a cow. You haven't actually harmed the cow. Cows are fucking enormous. You're not going to trouble it with your tiny cock. But you've probably distressed the animal. Daisy's probably thinking, what the fuck is he up to? On the upside, though, you've had a whale of a time, and if you have a baby with a cow, it'll be a minotaur. It's like Bully from Bullseye. Every year in my show, I write some jokes that require a visual element to be fully enjoyed, and this year is no exception. So what I thought I'd do now is show you some of the pictures I've done to illustrate the next jokes. Do you want to see them? Yeah. Excellent news, because that is what happens next. I've had some ideas. I'll kick off with some ideas. Some advice for you. The best way to test the temperature of a bath is with a baby's elbow. I've had an idea of how to prop up our currency, the pound, against the euro and the dollar. What we do is we print new pounds, and this time the Queen is smiling. And if things get really bad, tits out, Your Majesty. When you think about it, a rhino is just a unicorn that didn't moisturize. Gillette claims to be the best a man can get. What about a blowjob from twins? Whatever happened to Jedward? The speed men shave in adverts. If I shaved at that kind of speed, my balls would be in shreds. When I was told I was bipolar, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. A friend of mine's got OCD. For those of you that don't know, OCD is an abbreviation. It's just a shorter, quicker way of saying, I'd be a really annoying girlfriend. True story. If all the veins in your body were laid out in a straight line, you would die. Let's talk about some social issues. My neighbour is noisy and nosy. He's always banging on the walls, shouting, "Is anyone there? I've fallen. Is anyone there?" It's none of your business if anyone's here. Still, he's gone quiet now. Childhood is now effectively over by 11, which is when the pubs close and Uncle Terry gets home. Oh, Uncle Terry. I was traumatized as a child. Our priest was cheating on me. I just want to reach out to people that attempt suicide and say, come on, have another go. Keys to the city, that's a weird thing, isn't it, the keys to the city? Of course, they don't have that in Liverpool, do they? You just get given a coat hanger. As a fashion statement, Socks with Sandals says, I'm either a German, a paedophile, or a cunt. Quite possibly, all three. Has anyone got any questions or queries about sex or relationships? Anything you need to know?
What's your favourite position?
I like reverse cowgirl, but, you know, I'm old-fashioned that way. What's yours, sir? Various. I think I can...
It's a match, eh? Pick and mix.
Yeah, I imagine, what, it's either that or that. Yeah. I was parked earlier on a single yellow line and I was worried about the traffic warden coming when I wasn't there, so I left a little note on the windscreen for the traffic warden. Do you do that? I always leave a note saying, "Oi, traffic warden cunt, I fucked your mum." Apparently, the rear passenger side of the car is the safest place to be in an accident. Yeah. Although I think if you're back there, it might explain why you crashed. If it's an offence to impersonate a policeman, why have we got community support officers? My girlfriend's got one of those tiny little strips of hair. What are they called? Moustache. Landing strip? She's only 12. I'm joking. She's got a landing strip. She's a very hairy little girl. I've slightly upset myself with that. She's a vegetarian. Any other vegetarians in? A few vegetarians around? Caroline's vegetarian. She thinks it's disgusting that I eat veal, but she eats baby carrots. They're babies. Of course, some women can eat whatever they want, they don't put on any weight, and they're called bitches. Not that I don't mind the fuller figure, I quite like the larger lady. I went out with a girl once who was quite a lot larger. Yeah. When she sat around the house, she sat around the house. If you had a pillow fight, you had to use a duvet. I undressed her with my eyes. It took me 45 minutes. I tried to spoon with her. It's more like a ladle. I've got a photo of her somewhere, taken by Google Earth. My girlfriend and I are trying for a baby. We got pretty close outside Asda last Saturday. I was in Los Angeles last year doing a bit of work and I got stopped at the airport. They said, "Purpose of visit?" I said, "I'm here to shoot a pilot." That's 3 hours of my life I'm not getting back. I was told when I was 12 years of age by my Catholic priest, he said to me, "God is watching you when you masturbate." I said, "Is he a pedo-twophile?" I'm joking. I said, "Is he a pedo-twophile?" Now, that joke may be offensive to Catholics, but it's not the only reason I like it. The thing about Childline... I haven't said anything yet. The thing about Childline is now we have a generation of children that can't keep a secret. I know that doesn't sound very charitable, but let me leave you with this. 10 pence from the sale of every one of my DVDs goes to the poor, underprivileged children of Cambodia. Who manufacture them. Any other claims to fame? Interesting jobs? Any others? I mean, it could be from anywhere. You're a priest. Who's a priest? You're a priest. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking you might have had some dealings with priests. Just stand up, just for a second. Just turn around, just so people can see you. See? I mean, am I being cynical? Or is he definitely not a fucking priest? Any other interesting jobs? What, sorry?
Own my own pizza shop.
You own your own pizza shop? You sound fucking chop with yourself. I own my own pizza shop. You know, there's a massive problem with obesity in this country. You should be fucking ashamed. Pizza, well done. Well done. And the best pizza, you say?
Voted best pizza in Britain.
Voted best pizza in Britain by you? Well, what?
Independent pizza.
Best independent pizza. What? I didn't care the first time. You can... I mean... Any other unusual jobs or claims to fame? You're a what? A funeral director? Love. Your voice couldn't go any better with your job. He's fucking dead. How am ya? Dead. It's fucking shit here. Okay, so funeral director, that's interesting. I like that as a job. That's fascinating. Any other interesting jobs? What's your name? Caroline. What do you do, Caroline?
I work in TV.
You work in TV? What do you do in TV?
I work on Holby City.
You work on what, sorry?
Holby City.
You work on Holby City? Well done, I love it. I love what you've done with Holby City. I think the fucking genius move with Holby City recently was casting Hugh Laurie and changing the location to America. Well done, you. I think we should talk to the funeral. Should we talk to the funeral director? Funeral director, what are the chances of you getting down here? Don't fucking jump or we'll have to bury you. But if you can make your way down to here, then we could talk to funeral director. That sounds exciting. While he's making his way down, yeah, give him a smattering. He's making his way. While he's making his way down, because it's a big old venue, he'd take a minute. Any other claims to fame in the room? Any other exciting? You're a what?
Paleontologist.
You're a paleontologist in Birmingham. Just in case any dinosaurs... It's dinosaur bones, yes? And you look at those? Not just dinosaurs? What, have you got another part-time job in Asda, have you? What else do you look at? Different fossils. Wow. I'm sure paleontology, I'm sure that's a brilliant, wonderful scientific thing to do, but I did a project on dinosaurs when I was 6, and I loved it. I was very excited, and I did lots of pictures, and I stuck them in, and I did a whole project on dinosaurs, and I loved them. And then what I did, and this is an interesting note to you, I grew up. I'm still doing my dinosaur book. I like it. I'll indulge you. What's your favourite dinosaur?
A velociraptor.
A velociraptor, because of Jurassic Park. Oh, you might as well have said Barney. Is anyone applying for a job or anything like that? Oh, what are you applying for?
Teacher.
To be a teacher? Ooh. I read a thing recently that said that the best teachers, the ones that graduate very top of teacher training, go and teach at special needs schools. I couldn't help thinking, isn't that a bit of a waste? What are they going to get? A better standard of potato painting? Well, this might help if you're getting your CV together, you never know. Education and qualifications, you've got to kick off with that for the CV. I went to boarding school. I was a day boy. At least I think that's what they were shouting. I got a double first at Cambridge. First person to get their balls out in choir practice. First person to be hospitalised by a chaplain. Personal statement. That's an annoying thing. You've got to do a personal statement now. You've already filled in a CV and an application form, and then they make you write a little essay about yourself at the end. It's rubbish. Here's my personal statement. You can borrow it if you like. I've got tiny balls. Balls like marbles. Is that personal enough? I shaved them. There, I said it. What do you expect the position you've applied for to involve? Endless meetings, a few months of keeping my head down, a fight with the boss at the Christmas party, a drunken sexual dalliance with a colleague, some sort of harassment tribunal followed by a swift departure. A little bit of realism there, a little bit of truth for you. Oh, I applied to be in the police. Any policemen in? Undercover, I see. Well, they've got a great form, the police. What's your greatest personal achievement to date, they ask. I've said I've stolen over £16,000 worth of stationery without once getting caught. What I used to do is I used to take all the post-it notes and pens and pads and ink cartridges and laptops, stuff you're going to nick anyway. Just take it, instead of nicking it in my bag or my coat, what I used to do is get all that stuff, put it in a box, yeah? And then when it was full, take it to the post room and have them deliver it to my house. It was fucking brilliant. Because not only did you get the stuff you were going to steal anyway, you also got kind of a Christmas morning surprise 2 days later. A package for me. Who could have been so kind? It was me. What do you consider your greatest weakness? I demand too much of myself and others. Either that or whores. How much alcohol do you consume over a 7-day period? How do you possibly expect me to remember? I mean, last month, Asda did a 2-for-1 on Malibu. I lost a fortnight. Have you ever misused any illegal substances? Yes. I once accidentally snorted heroin thinking it was cocaine. I'm not proud of that, but it happened. Best to be honest. This is a sad state of affairs, but this is the last question on the police form. Are you a racist or have you ever been a member of the BNP? I've said no, but I'm a fast learner and I'll do anything to get this job. We all saw that documentary. Oh, I applied to work at Starbucks, the posh coffee shop, because I'm in there every day anyway. I thought I might as well. Do you enjoy working as part of a team, they ask. I've said, absolutely. I very much enjoy the workplace team dynamic. It's easier to get away with stuff. Plus, there are those long lunches and the team-building weekends where you get to make a raft and finger each other and that. When was the last time you received great customer service, and why was it so memorable? I was with a wonderful prostitute the other night. Seriously, she had a vagina like a mouse's ear. I imagine that would mean she could hear you coming. Oh, speaking of special occasions, there was a couple in a couple of weeks ago at one of my gigs, 35 years married. I got chatting to them because I thought, well, quite an incredible thing in this day and age. Got chatting to them. I said, what did you get her for the anniversary? And he said, deep fat fryer. I said, well, what did she get you? And he went, chips. And they seemed thrilled with that arrangement. It got me chatting to people about what is the worst gift you've ever got? Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's. What is the worst piece of shit you ever got? We've had a heckle. Go on, what was that, sir? A little bit louder. No, what's fine. Sir, what's your name? What, sorry? Toby. Toby, do you mind me sharing with the group? Thank you very much indeed, Toby. That makes it much easier. Because there's a heckle. It's quite a good heckle, quite a funny heckle. But we have to do a heckle put-down now. God. I would love if I could just let it go, but I can't. There are rules. But you don't mind me sharing with the group, so it makes it much easier. We can go old school. What, sorry? Stop stalling. Don't panic, sir. I've got this. I'll have to put you on arsehole waiting. Toby's mum is so fat. She's a fucking disgrace, Toby. Your mum is such a chunky monkey wobble slob. Fatty boom batty blubbernaut. She's so fucking fat, when she fell down the stairs, I thought EastEnders had finished. Boom, 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 ba 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 bum. True story. You, sir. What did you say? What was it? Stop stalling? Yeah? What's your name? Gary. Are you trying to say Gary? What do you mean? Gary. Yeah. 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 The fuck is that? Well, Gary, if you want my comeback, you'll have to scrape it off your mum's teeth. Worst gifts. What's the worst gift? What, sorry? You got a bread maker. Your husband bought you a bread maker. What a fucking arsehole. No, I just hate the whole concept. Because bread makers, I mean, I spent like 200 quid on a bread maker. That's convenient, isn't it? Because you don't live near shops and bread isn't fucking cheap. Oh, I'll just make my own. That's fine. Because the ingredients cost more than a loaf of bread, but don't worry about it. So what did you get him? Instead of an engagement ring, you got a bread maker instead of an engagement ring. You broke up with him, right? You've just divorced him. Yay! Why did you go through with marrying him? I mean, that must have been fucking awkward in the office. Oh. Look at this! Oh, it's a nice one, sparkly. You poor thing. Any other bad gifts? You got what, sir? A dog pooper scooper. Do you have a dog? At the time, yes. What the fuck have you done with your dog, dude? What happened to your dog? You don't have him anymore. Oh, Toby's mum ate him. The fat bitch. Let's do some improv, ladies and gentlemen. All I need is suggestions from you. Right, I need a historical figure.
Nelson.
Nelson?
Oliver Cromwell.
Oliver Noddy. Yeah, very much a mixed ability group this evening, isn't it? Yeah. Oliver Cromwell, Noddy. Mother Teresa. God bless her, Mother Teresa. Amazing woman, wasn't she? Very generous with her time. And although you do look at her and think, yeah, a little bit of moisturiser wouldn't have fucking killed you. So I'm all for helping the poor, but just oil of Ulay, take the edge off that. Fuck me, it's like a saddlebag. She looks like my balls. I'm joking, my balls are in significantly better kit than Mother Teresa's face. Henry, all right, let's go Henry VIII. He's a classic. Let's go Henry VIII, OK? All we know about him was he was a bit, shall we say he was aggressive towards women? He did what, sorry? He shagged loads of women? Yes. He was the king. It's not going to be tricky to get a date, is it? Hey, how you doing? I'm the king. Do you want to see me cock? And the crown jewels. Easy. OK, so let's go Henry VIII. I need an accent. Peruvian? How optimistic are you? Australian. I can do Australian. Are you? Are you get fucked? Are there Australians in? Well, what am I talking about? Saturday night, they're working behind a bar. Okay. Right, I need a superpower.
America.
America? How's that helping? No! The understanding of women. How old are you, sir? You seem jaded before your time. You're 17. How can you not understand 17-year-old women? All you need to know is that. It's easy. Do you know how to buy cider? Cider, wait to ripen, and bang. And then off to play on the PlayStation. And if you get good enough with the PlayStation, you can bring her off in about half a minute. Talking during sex, Glasgow. Where do you stand on talking during sex? I think there should be very strict rules on talking during sex. Rule number 1, don't. Rule number 2, shh. And those are the rules. My girlfriend talks during sex. I don't mean sexy, dirty, filthy talk. I'd love that. That'd be awesome. No. She says the most mundane shit you've heard in your life, mid-coitus. That means whilst fucking. The thing you do for chips. I'll give you an example, okay? So a couple of weeks ago, we were making love. I'd made her do it love. We were about halfway through. Well, we were nearly finished, truth be told, but she didn't know that. I was actually... And she said, where'd I leave my keys? I said, well, they're not in your vagina. I've had a good route round. I was sure I would have noticed something. I'll check your bum. She said, you will not. No one's birthday. So I've come up with a way of dealing with this, okay? I could just say to her, could you not say mundane things during sex because it sort of kills the mood for me, sort of ruins it, you know, kills the moment. I could just say that, but that would be literally no fun at all. So what I'm doing is whatever she says to me, no matter how mundane, whatever she says to me during sex, I try and make it sexy. Set myself that challenge. It's a lot of fun. I'll give you an example. She said to me a couple of weeks ago, she said, the recycling's coming tomorrow. Well, more accurately, she said, the recycling's coming tomorrow. So I said, the recycling's not the only thing coming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna separate your paper and plastic. Doesn't really mean anything. That's my sexy voice, by the way. I've kind of gone for a 1970s blaxploitation New York City voice, because then you can say things like, I'm coming. If I just use my voice, I've just got to go, I've arrived. Has anyone heard anything more mundane than that during sex? What's the most mundane thing? Hurry up. Hurry up. What was that? These chips are cold. Oh, bless. Any others? What? Sorry, what was that one there? Rather cold today. Cold today. Aye. That's like small talk at a bus station. I suppose we're in Glasgow. It could well have happened at a bus station. I got the little... Oh, yes. Any others? Is it in yet? So have you said to this boy here, there's a man covering his eyes now with the... Oh, God, she hasn't. That's not your boyfriend. I'm sure you don't limit yourself to one. But you've said to a man, is it in yet? But you've said that to him, you've looked a man in the eyes and gone, is it in yet? No, you don't want to look down and check and you've got no feeling in your vagina whatsoever. So hang on, just make eye contact with me. Without looking down, can you tell if there's a cock in you now? What was your one? My gran's in hospital. You were fucking someone and they said to you, my gran's in hospital. Oh, yeah, baby, tell it like it is. Yeah, I'm gonna break your hips. Right, let's try some rude stuff, see how we get along. Lady wind. Queefing. Fanny farts. The expulsion of air from the vajayjay during sexual intercourse. A cunt grunt. There are two main responses when a queef occurs. Some couples, it doesn't matter how gnarly or squelchy the noise, they deny the queef. Did you hear anything? No, I didn't hear anything. And they move on. Some couples, it's a funny little noise, they have a little giggle, they move on. Not a problem. I like to go a third way. I like to pretend the vagina is talking to me. What's that? There's a boy trapped down a well. I like to think of myself as the vagina whisperer. What happened? Are you getting a phone call? There's a Scottish lady getting a phone call. I imagine the drugs are arriving any moment. All right. You switched it off and it rang anyway. Well, I'm not buying that fucking story. Don't worry, it's okay. It's only a phone. Don't feel bad. It's a what, sorry? It's a late alarm to come and see me. Or come and see me an hour fucking late. You're not the one I booked for the interval, are you? It's very difficult to get dirty talk right. Have you noticed this? It's very difficult to get dirty talk right. Like in a long-term relationship, it's fine, because you know where your boundaries are, you know your partner. But on a one-night stand, fraught with danger. I've got a story concerning a friend of mine. He's quite good at pulling. We were all at a party together, and he pulled a girl that none of us knew. Ended up back at her place that night having sex. Well done him, high five. So he told us the story the next day. He said she started it. They were having sex. She said, talk dirty to me. Or more accurately, talk dirty to me. So from the Rolodex of filth in his head, he came forth with this. And this would be fine for many of the ladies here. Within the confines of the bedroom, within the boudoir, this would be an okay thing to say. With a long-term, loving, trusting partner. On a one-night stand, maybe not. He said, you love it, you slut. She said, I'm not a slut. And there was a very awkward moment. Awkward as moments can be when you've just insulted someone you're balls deep in. He apologized profusely, needless to say, and they moved on. I imagine there's a story there, madam. Well, you know how when you've got a phrase you're not meant to say, it's all you can think to say? It's on the tip of your tongue. So like 2 minutes later, right, my friend, he somehow lost track of what he wasn't meant to say, says it again. You love it, you slut. She said, I'm not a slut. And he got into an argument with her. He didn't mean to. It was like a reflex. When she said, I'm not a slut for the second time, he went, well, we have just met. She said, you don't know me. He said, well, that just proves my point. It's a very odd thing being famous. I get this thing happen now where about once a week someone will come up to me in the street and go, I know you from somewhere. Did we go to school together? And I've discovered there's no way to say to another human being, no, we didn't go to school together, but do you own a television? Without sounding like a total fucking arsehole. What, sorry? Is that buckfast? No, that's water. You've probably heard of it. Who's the most famous person I've ever met? Well, I once met her. It's quite an impressive one. I don't want to show off, but you know how villages have got idiots, yeah? I met the idiot for the whole of Glasgow. Yeah. Yes, he's one of the biggest cunts in the world, yeah. And you married him. That is, again, that will only happen in Glasgow. You call someone a cunt and their wife goes, yep. Oh, don't I know? Fucking hell. Yeah, I'll record it in Glasgow, it'll be fine. Really? Really? The big advantage to being famous, as I see it, is if I ever get Alzheimer's, I'm going to be absolutely fine. If I ever forget who I am, I'll be fine. Because as I wander around town for the day, people are constantly going, oh, look, Jimmy Carr. Oh, look, Jimmy Carr. Oh, look, Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr. So if I forget my identity, I'll be constantly reminded. The downside to that is about 5% of the time people get it wrong and think I'm Alan Carr. So about once a week I'd end up back at the care home sucking off an old fella. Oh, I don't really like it. Looks. Let's talk about my looks. Well, could be worse. It could have been a pop-up book. Looking at me, you wouldn't think I was voted the 4th sexiest man in Britain. And you'd be right. I wasn't. People often ask, how do you get the Jimmy Carr look? Well, get your mother to drink heavily during pregnancy. Sorry, mate, no offence. I do look a little like Roger Federer, and a lot like Ian Beale's daughter from EastEnders. Yeah, I wish that wasn't funny. I wish that didn't ring true, but sadly it does, doesn't it? It's an odd thing, being on TV, being on stage in front of all you people, it makes you more vain than you should otherwise be. I mean, I'm a 37-year-old man, I shouldn't be vain at all. I realise you can't polish a turd. But you can roll it in glitter, can't you? So you do the best with what you've got. And I always try and make the best of myself, try and, dress well and present myself well. It only ever leads to embarrassment, Vanity. I remember the first time I did a room this size in London, my older brother came to the gig. Yeah, I've always, looked up to my older brother. Came to the show, came backstage afterwards. He didn't say anything about the performance. He just went, "Are you wearing makeup?" And to my eternal shame, I went, "No, it's tinted moisturiser." I realise now, I couldn't have sounded gayer to him with 2 cocks in my mouth. Let's talk about my career. I've got a terrible boss, self-employed, and I'm currently on sexual harassment charges. Of course, on the other hand, you are looking at Employee of the Month. How can I explain what it's like? You know when you walk past like an electrical goods store and they've got all the TVs in the store hooked up to one camera and you kind of do that weird thing of waving at yourself as you walk by? And there's an odd moment where you go, well, I don't want to stop waving because I'm still waving. That's what Channel 4 is like for me. I'm like their fucking screensaver. And for the moment, it's just stand-up and TV for me. My acting career has been put on hold, and that was a decision taken by you, the British public. Yeah, a lot of comedians that I started with have now gone to Hollywood to make movies, which is great, well done them. But there's something called loyalty, and there's something else called a lack of talent and no offers. I've just noticed, can you all just keep a little bit quiet for a second? I've just noticed there's a man over there, that pit in a blue jumper. I think he might be asleep. If you could just keep quiet around him. Just shush, shush. Oh, fuck, he's woken. Fuck. Hello? You're having a fucking weird dream, aren't you? I wouldn't fall asleep again. Something very bad will happen. I was going to teabag him. Shit. It's annoying, isn't it? I love swearing. I've always quite... Oh, you're all right? Sorry, what was that? I missed a bit of chat. Hi. Sorry, it's not the telly. If you talk, I can hear. Now you're looking pissed off. You're thinking, I didn't press the red button, it's gone all interactive. What were you saying? Go on, say.
I thought you were talking about snake bite drink.
You thought... You just said, I thought you were talking about snake bite the drink. Yeah. What happened was... OK, in a joke is like 2 stories, yeah? And the first story makes you make an assumption about something. So the assumption people made about snakebite in that joke was that it was a snake biting you. But that's the setup of the joke. So you made the assumption he's talking about a snake biting someone. In the second part of the joke, often known as the punchline, what you'll find is that rug will be whipped from under you, and you'll realise that the assumption you made was erroneous. Suddenly revealing a fact that was previously concealed is the nature of all one-liners, madam. So in essence, I was talking about both snake bites, the thing that happens when a snake bites you, and also the drink. No problem at all, it's lovely to help. It's nice to have you here this evening, because I think one of the charity gigs I did helped pay for the minibus that brought you here. So, nice to see that money wasn't wasted. Oh, bless her little heart. What are you making of the rest of the show? Or are you just enjoying the spangly things? I've always liked swearing. I'm a big fan of swearing, especially sort of middle-class, polite swearing, the sort of swearing parents do in front of the kids to pretend they don't swear. Terms like effing. We all know it means fucking, but it's a nicer way of saying it, isn't it? I've got a story about this. I was at a wedding with my friend Craig. He's Scottish. He swears a lot. Actually, I don't need to say both of those things. Anyway, we're all suited and booted at this very posh wedding on our very best behaviour. He leans across the table. He says, "Pardon my French." I thought we're in trouble here. I happen to know you don't speak French. You barely speak English. He says, "Pardon my French, but we all know Paul is an effing cunt." As if that's the bit of the sentence that needed cleaning up there. I tell you what I think we're shit at as a nation. I think we're terrible at languages. Would you agree with that? I think the British are terrible at languages, and I think that's why at one stage we had an empire. I think our arrogance got us an empire, because we got sailing ships and we went off around the world trying to buy stuff to bring back to show off. That's what you do on your holidays. We arrived on the shores of a foreign land, we got out the boat and we said, "I'd like to buy some spices, please." I'm getting nothing here, Jeremy. Say it a bit louder. Right you are. "I'd like to buy some spices, please." Still nothing. "Well, I'll fetch the muskets, we'll build a railway, in 200 years they can have a call centre." Very much an abridged version of empire, but that's what happened. I've got another story about how bad we are at languages. I was doing a bit of material last year about the rioting all over Paris. French people rioting, it's funny. "Oh, quick, Pierre, they have a water cannon. If we're not careful, we'll be washed." And I wanted to check I hadn't offended anyone, so I said, "Are there any French people in?" Someone shouted, "Si, senor." I thought, that's a new kind of stupid. Because it's Spanish. Well, what I like to do, I've done a couple of interviews on television. I've done sort of Des O'Connor, I've done Parkinson, and I was all right on them. I was fine, but I wasn't brilliant on them, and I'd like to get better. So what I like to do is to kind of practice with a member of the audience doing an interview. Now, would anyone like to interview me? Yes. Right, her. What's your name? What? I tell you what, we'll discuss it down here, because it sounds to me like you don't have a proper name. But Lady in the Blue, as you will now be known. You want to stick a mic on her? Unless you're busy. Unless you're busy standing by a door. Well, I'll be honest, she could get up as well. Christ. Thank God she could get up, because that... Come over here. Come over, sit down. Hello.
I thought I was sitting in my own chair.
You thought you were sitting in your own chair? Unlucky.
I thought it was a joke.
You thought it was a joke? Well, it sort of is.
Great.
Have you not seen a pattern emerging? There's a little list of questions. What's your name?
Oh, I don't make up my own questions.
You can make up your own, yeah. Feel free.
My name is Blonnard.
Blonnard?
Yeah. It's Irish.
It's Irish for what? Typo?
I'm not going to tell you what it's Irish for.
What is it Irish for?
That's it, yeah.
Flower?
Yeah,
What kind of flower?
little flower.
Not self-raising.
No,
No. Little flower.
little flower, yeah.
Blonde.
It's not difficult, yeah.
Is it spelled? Oh, well, fair enough. All right, little flower. But I just worry on the DVD, if you're watching this back home, I can pronounce blonde. Why? Blonde. Go ahead. Kick off. Ask anything you want, actually. I've got those there, but
Do you want me to speak from this? Really? Do you want me to ask these questions?
It's not complicated.
Okay.
Right back at you. It would appear, Blonde, I've got the skills to pay the bills.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here. We'll try and hold it together. You're not Graham Norton.
No, I'm not Graham Norton. What do you think about fame?
Well, I'm glad you've asked me that. A lot of people, they get their first little taste of fame and they let it go to their heads. They end up in the Priory Clinic talking about themselves in the third person.
Okay.
Let me assure you, Jimmy Carr's not going to let that happen.
So who would you most like to sleep with? Anyone, living or dead?
Anyone living? This could take a while.
Which is your greatest regret?
Well, they say that you should regret the things you have done, not the things you haven't. But my greatest regret is something that I didn't do. It's a girl called Barbara.
Which words?
Sorry, do I look like a wife beater now because she's crying?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I might be giving her an orgasm. I'm not. I've never seen it before. I've got no frame of reference.
No, don't worry, you're not.
You'll never go.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr. All I'm saying is, when you think about it, can I park here? Is it in yet?
Where do you get your ideas from?
I think it's the cerebellum, but it could be the frontal cortex.
Could be.
I'm not sure.
Which book changed your life?
Heidegger's Being and Nothingness.
What is your most embarrassing
Well, hang on, there's more
moment?
to that. Feed line, punchline, then we move on.
Okay, go for it. Okay, what is your favourite record of all time?
Well, it's a different question. Go back to the book, damn it.
Okay. What book changed your life?
Heidegger's Being and Nothingness. Before I got that book, we had a wonky table in the kitchen.
What's the worst heckle you've ever had?
I was probably when I was doing a gig in Bristol. I told a joke, not a brilliant joke, it was all right. I said, has anyone in here been caught thieving in the Middle East? Let's have a show of hands. And a bloke about 4 rows back held up a hook. Properly Abu Hamza style.
Oh, right, yeah.
And to my eternal shame, I said, give him a big hand.
They're going to edit all this out.
Well, your bits, yeah.
How do you relax?
I put Smarties tubes on cats' legs and make them walk like a robot. If I'm really tense, I make it go down the stairs. They get a bit confused.
Yeah.
A cat looking confused is brilliant.
Okay.
Little face.
What makes you angry?
When I can't get the lid off the Valium.
Okay. Which historical figure do you most admire?
Joan of Arc, lovely tits.
What's the one thing you'd like to do before you die?
Kylie.
So predictable.
I don't want to sound callous or unkind or cruel, but the Children of Courage Awards. How much courage does it take to get poorly? All I'm saying is, maybe we could just change the name to the Children of Horrible Misfortune. That way we could include ugly children as well. If anyone's sitting there thinking, I really didn't like that joke, I don't like the subject matter, I didn't think it was very funny. Imagine how it went down at the Great Ormond Street Gala. Well, comedy's been pretty good to me over the last couple of years. I've had a really sort of good run at it. And I wanted to give something back. And what I thought I'd do is try and sort of do some guerrilla comedy, put some comedy in places where you don't normally find it. Obviously, you all, come out to a comedy show this evening, and people watching a comedy DVD tend to be in quite a good mood already. But what about the people that aren't having a good day? What about the people, I don't know, reading the small ads? I mean, you can't be having a good time if you're reading the small ads. You're either buying something second-hand, or you're filling in a personal. And let's face it, if you're summing up your personality in 30 words or less, it basically means you don't have a good one. So what I thought I'd do is put some, I've got a credit card, I've got quite good phone manner. I'll play some small ads, maybe cheer some people up along the way. Would you like to see them? Yeah. Of course you fucking would. This is the first one that I placed. I put it in the personals. It's incurable romantic, seeks filthy whore. This next one's sort of the basis for all small ads, in my opinion, in the personals. Good-looking, athletic, Notting Hill-based movie star, millionaire, seeks gullible stunner. Now, the business opportunity section of papers, I travel up and down the country doing lots of stand-up gigs, and I always sort of read the local paper. It's normally, quite good fun. The business opportunity section, useless for me. Unless you want to buy a cafe in Solihull, no good. So I thought I'd try and brighten it up with an ad. I placed this. Small minority wanted to spoil it for the rest of us. There's always one, is it you? Now, the announcement section in a local paper should be an interesting thing, but it's not. It's births, marriages and deaths. But of course, if you know the person, involved in either being born or getting married or dying, you sort of know. You don't need to read it in the paper. So it's a bit pointless. Although my nan used to collect anything to do with our family or friends. She used to collect all the little personals from the local paper and put them in a shoebox. She collected them all for like 50 years. And then she died and we put them in the bin. That's not a joke, that's just what happens. Anyway, I thought I'd try and, cheer up the announcement section of the paper. I went with this ad. Amanda, I'm running a bit late. We'll be there in about an hour. How far apart are the contractions? This next one is, well, it's just plain odd, but I ended up putting it in public and legal notices, but only because I was out of ideas as to where to put it. Nemesis wanted. I'm 5'10", into kayaking, books and conversation by day, justice, honour and vengeance by night. Seeking archenemy, possibly crime lord or deformed megalomaniac. Has anyone in here been flashed? Yeah. Go on, what happened, madam? Is it a funny story or is it distressing?
I was in a club and some guy flashed me.
In a club? In a club and someone flashed you in the club?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't go off with a man in a club? I was kissing him, and I undid his zip, and then he flashed me. Go on, what happened? Tell me the story.
It was in the middle of the dance floor.
Middle of the dance floor, and he was throwing some shapes, and one of his was...
No, my friend told him that we were lesbians to get rid of him.
So to get rid of the guy, your friend told him you were lesbians. That's how these two started, but then they liked it, so they stuck with it. And did that work?
Oh, she said, we don't like cock. And then
She said, we don't like cock. So sorry, so someone got his cock out in the middle of the dance floor in a club, and you went, oh no, sorry, we're lesbians. You could have just told him to fuck off. You're incredibly polite. I'll make up an excuse so he doesn't feel bad. I don't want the flasher to feel rejected. How nice are you? And has anyone else been flashed? You got arrested for flashing? Well, don't take it out on me. What do you mean you got arrested for flashing?
Well, I was was going for a piss.
You were going for a piss? This sounds like bullshit to me. You were going for a piss. Where were you going for a piss? Set the scene for us. I've never met anyone that's flash. Go on. It's going for a piss in a primary school.
In a car park.
In a car park, okay. In a car park outside, you're going for a piss. Caught short. Late at night, fine, okay.
Yeah, and I needed a piss, so I went up against a tree.
You went up against a tree.
Yeah.
Turned out it wasn't a tree, it was a fat girl. Go on, so you walked up to a tree to take a pee in a car park. This doesn't sound terrible. So far, I'm on this guy's side. Go on.
So there was a woman in the trees.
There was a woman in the trees. Sounds like you've broken dogging etiquette by pissing on someone. So you went up to take a piss on a tree, and there was a woman in the tree.
She was walking, there's a pathway.
She was walking, okay.
And it was outside a police station.
And it was outside a police station. What kind of a fucking idiot are you? You went for a piss in the police station car park. Why don't you just turn yourself in? That's a cry for help if ever I heard one. Lock me up before I hurt someone. And what, did she scream? Did she complain? What happened?
No, she went into the police station and they came out and arrested me for indecent exposure.
They came out and arrested you for indecent... Is it because you're a bit ginger? Do you think they would have let you off if you hadn't been quite as... I'm sorry about these lights as well. We could well be giving you skin cancer. I think I'm on your side there. If you're taking a piss, that's not indecent exposure, is it? What do you think? Are we on this guy's side? Yeah. There's one man, no. Stop pissing outside, you crazy fool. But because there was a woman in the other night with a story. She said, oh, I got flashed. And then she told me the story, and I wasn't sure. She said, I got flashed. I said, has anyone been flashed? She went, yeah, I got flashed in Disneyland. I said, I'm all ears. She said, I was in Disneyland, Florida. I was walking in past the hotels in Disneyland and into the park, and I looked up at one of the hotels, and a guy was opening his bedroom curtains, flashed me. I said, no, he didn't. You are a peeping Tom. My girlfriend wants a diamond ring, and the only reason I know that is it's pretty much all she fucking talks about. Let's face facts. The only way my girlfriend's getting a diamond ring is if the vajazzler slips. I don't really understand the vajazzle. I mean, I know what a vajazzle is. I know what it is. They whip away all the hair from your foo-foo, and then they diamante it. I say they, I imagine you get some Pritt stick and glitter and have a crack yourself. Have a sparkly crack yourself, you're welcome. I just don't know who that's for. I've never met a man who said to me, oh, I love vaginas. But I wish they're a bit more zhuzhy. A few more sparkles wouldn't go amiss. I want a glamour puss, a showbiz entrance. Has anyone had a vajazzle? She had. What motif did you go for, madam?
I was a little bit embarrassed to ask for one.
You had a heart because you were embarrassed to ask for...
Like something spectacular.
You were embarrassed to ask for something spectacular. So you were fine with someone putting glitter on your fanny, but you went, I don't want to ask for anything embarrassing. How adorable. And was it for a special occasion, or was it just...
No, I just thought, why not?
You thought, why not? Well, plenty of fucking reasons. Basic hygiene. Your boyfriend could chip a tooth. And it was definitely a proper vajazzle, not a Liverpool vajazzle, which is just a euphemism for herpes.
Oh, hello. I'm Jimmy Carr. Thank you very much for watching that. If you could like and subscribe, then Daddy gets more money. So, like and subscribe.